talk about movies. We don't care about spoiling them because it's the spoiler cast, you know. And with with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And I am
Tobias.
Tobias, of course. Be sure to check us out on all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube, or if you're listening to this afterwards, check us out on all the other podcast platforms. You know the ones: Spotify, iTunes, all the stuff. And
all the stuff.
Yeah, if you want to support the show even more, check us out on Patreon, where you will not only receive exclusive episodes of this podcasts, you will all podcast. Oh yes, podcasts. Yes.
Oh yes, in the future.
In the future, yes. If you're Patreon, you already know what I'm talking about. And very soon, we will start a little blog series vlog series on the Patreon, because well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get on with the show. I don't want to shill too much. So,
the topic of today.
The topic of today is the biggest opening for Netflix in 2021. It's Army of the Dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been doing quite well, I hear, and I understand. I mean, they've been promoting it heavily, but it hasn't gotten that good reviews. At least the ones that I read and the ones I've seen. Some people have really liked it, but those are people whose opinion I don't respect, so it doesn't matter.
I haven't actually looked up too many reviews yet, to be honest. I'm scrolling through the hashtag on Twitter right now.
Okay.
There is some theories rolling around.
Oh.
But not a lot about if they actually like the movie or not.
Well, there was a lot of positive energy going on when the movie released last week, right? Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Almost exactly a week ago. It was last Friday, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You can check out my review that I released on Friday if you want to, get a more concise review than this stream. Yeah, there was a lot of positive energy going on because of Zack Snyder, who's been having a pretty good year in 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, even I, who have spent the last decade basically hating him, said that he was redeemed as a filmmaker because of the Justice League. And then they released this, and I was like, God damn it!
Yeah. So let's start with that. What did you think of it?
I did not like it.
Not at all.
I liked very little of it. I don't hate it, and I might have been putting my expectations a little too high because of the Justice League.
Possibly.
Yes, but I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I just didn't find it entertaining at all, really. I guess we'll get in more into more details later. But what did you think of the movie?
I'm on the same wavelength there, because I expected a lot of zombies and like this classic mall heist zombie movie like we've seen many times before.
Yes.
Like the what's the video game? I love the zombie video game where in your mall you're a photographer.
Dead Rising.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought it would be that basically.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they showed in all the trailers. They showed all the scenes from the beginning of the movie, where there are a bunch of zombies. And I mean, the second Dead Rising game, which in my opinion is the best one, takes place in a fictionalized Las Vegas. I mean, they should have just done that.
Yeah, basically.
No, they didn't.
But no, they didn't.
They didn't.
And it's a bit of a shame. Because I did watch the behind the scenes documentary that Netflix released as well.
Yes, which I very much appreciate, because that's what I love with physical media, that you can get behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, and it was actually interesting to see how they what the thought process was and how they went about to create the zombies specifically because there are a bunch of different zombies in this one.
Yeah.
And you can see that there are a bunch of unique zombies. They're not just photocopies, every single one of them.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I mean,
I don't remember, but they said they had like a bunch of unique zombies.
yeah, because they use those motion capture suits,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, to like duplicate zombies. Yeah, they had like hundreds of different
Yeah,
zombies, which
then
is
of course in the background there are gonna be random duplicates, but you don't see them, so they don't count.
yeah, and all that stuff I loved about the movie.
Yeah,
Shouldn't say
meh,
loved, liked it. Yeah, I mean, I liked all the work that they put in to recreate Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that they actually a lot more of the movie was real. I thought basically everything was green screen.
Oh,
But
you did?
oh yeah, yes. But a lot of green screen was used, of course,
Well,
because
yeah, of
they
course.
couldn't film in Las Vegas. So,
No.
but I think it was I think it was admirable that they even like had real floors or real sand to walk on, basically.
Yeah, because they said that they brought in real rubble to make
Yeah, because
the
fake
set
rubble
look.
was like blowing away in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I,
Yeah, that's a nice detail.
I like the fact that they had, instead of like having like 10 extras, they and then fill in the blanks, fill in the gaps with CGI zombies. They actually had hundreds and hundreds of extras. That all received like fairly like good makeup, even if the
Yeah.
background zombies were, a little quicker. The fact that they, what did they say, like on the biggest day they had like 300 people in full makeup or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's insane. I like that. I like a big scale movie like that. And
Yeah, that the detail they put into it, that they don't just do a quick solve solution to make it seem big. No, they actually made it big.
yeah. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of that in the movie.
No.
There is a lot of that in the opening of the movie, which
Yes.
unfortunately I think is the best part of the movie. The opening credits are amazing. I mean,
Yeah, with
after
the
the
Las Vegas
first,
song going.
yeah, exactly. The opening
Yeah.
credits, the first like cold open. I liked it the first time I watched it. Then I rewatched that yesterday, and I was like, man, the acting is terrible. The military guys.
I forgot to look it up because I recognized one of the military guys, but
I don't know
I
if we're thinking of the same guy, but one of them looks a lot like an Australian actor.
no, I'm thinking of Michael Cassidy. Is he Australian? No, he's American.
Okay.
That's the face I recognize. I know that dude from somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because I thought the one who's driving the car looks a lot like what's his name? What's his name? Okay, now he's not even in the. Oh, there, Ben Mendelsohn. Well, it's not, but it looked kind of like him.
Wait, the Humvee driver.
Yeah, one of the two guys who's talking about
That-
Area 51 and.
I think it's Brian Avery, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, but he looks
I
like
don't really know that dude.
talented like actor Ben Mendelsohn, which it isn't.
Yeah. No.
But yeah,
No, but
that,
I recognize Michael Cassidy, but I didn't like that scene though. Well, I liked the scene per se, but I didn't like that it like opened up to this giant mystery that we have no explanation to at all.
yeah, which they don't go into any further really. It's just like, why even
mention it?
I
then?
mean, I think they're just doing it so they can have the alpha zombies. Otherwise, you're like, why are some zombies faster than others, or better than others? But
yeah, but they could have just left in the just call them alphas and have like, oh, but they were the first ones. Okay, then we know.
yeah,
You don't have to have it be a super secret government thing.
I mean that is more fun. I mean, if you think of I don't know, have we
Resident
talked?
Evil?
Yeah, Resident Evil, or have we talked about Return of the Living Dead, the like comedy, satire version of Night of the Living Dead?
No, I don't think we did.
Oh, okay, because then it's a big conspiracy where the zombies come from, and it's actually really fun. So I'm thinking maybe it's something they want to do something like that. Problem is that scene goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
They could have shortened it by. That's that's a theme for the entire movie. It's too long. They gotta cut some stuff out, and that's weird to say because, like I mentioned in my review, Most of Zack Snyder's movies have been cut down by the studio, so they will fit better, with theaters.
Yeah.
And then they've been released in longer versions, and those longer versions have usually been better.
Yeah, because then Zack Snyder can do what he wants to do. But I think this time he wasn't limited at all because he's directing, producing, and even shooting some of it.
He had free reign to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And the producers were just like, yeah, man, go for it. Justice League.
He was the producer, basically.
His wife is the producer, so.
Yeah.
He just say, but I want to do it. And she's like,
okay, honey.
No, I'm sure they're very professional on set.
Sure. But he probably gets more than he would have if someone else was the producer.
Yeah. No, but I mean, she's been producing his movies for decades now, so. But I mean, I think Netflix just said, man, oh yeah, great story. We'll let you do whatever you want. You get $90 million. You can't.
Yeah, that's true. Netflix is part of the production team.
Oh yes, they took over. It was supposed to be Warner Brothers, but they abandoned the project like many years ago, and Netflix took over in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, everything was delayed because of COVID. I think the movie was supposed to release last year, actually.
Yeah, the production dates back to 2009 when he wrote it.
Yeah, but I mean, the actual production I think started in like.
They entered a period of development before 2011, and then the film was scheduled for a fall release date in 2013.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
But he was making Man of Steel then.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to be directing it. It was James Gunn was actually
right.
But everyone basically abandoned ship in 2012. So they stopped, and then 2018 they restarted it again.
Oh, okay.
According to IMDb, at least.
Well, yeah. Where were we?
No, we were the production of this all.
Yeah. And I enjoy the production. The only thing I don't enjoy about the production is the camera work. It's terrible. He had some sort of
about it.
But I mean, 90% of the movie is out of focus.
Yeah, but he had some sort of special lenses that he wanted to use because of the fact that they were sort of out of focus.
Yes, they have a super shallow focus, which means that you can basically focus on. I think in some of the scenes they're literally focusing on like a 4-inch spot in the movie. The rest is out of focus.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of
what. It works in certain scenes. Definitely, it works if you wanna, like they say in the behind the scenes stuff. If you wanna make it like moody and spooky, that you literally can't see what's 3 feet in front of you. It works for that.
In the dark, casino scenes, definitely it works. But out in the open, in the light,
it manages to create a claustrophobic feeling when they're out in the open, in the desert.
Yeah. It just looked specifically. I don't remember exactly what the scene is, but they're literally walking amongst the rubble. I think it's when they first enter Las Vegas.
Yeah.
When they step over the rubble to get into the open field, that one open field that we have in front of the casino.
Yeah.
The edges are so blurry. It looks like they put a filter on it.
Yeah. And that's when they're shooting. That's when they're shooting wide angles. So then you just open up so everything is in focus. But even then, it can't focus on everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's scenes like the scene when he kills his wife in the beginning. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, when he drops the gun, it's out of focus, and you can see the focus is on the carpet, but then it just shifts over to the gun. And I'm not saying they weren't able to keep the frame in focus. No, this is a conscious choice to have that shallow focus to create. I don't know what the
mood, I guess.
Mood, yes, and like I said, it works in the darker, creepier scenes.
Yeah,
and it works like when they first see the zombie queen, when she crawls over the car. And you see her hand it's out of focus, but then when they move the camera up, she comes into focus. It works like that. But every scene can't be like that. Sometimes you just gotta move the camera back and just film what's going on. But you can't do that with these cameras.
Show us everything.
Yeah. Everything is handheld. Everything is shaky. Everything is super shallow focus. I mean, the scenes when they're in the warehouse building with Tanaka.
Yeah.
And he's giving them the plan, basically. It looks like they're standing in an impressionist painting because everything is just blurry in the background.
Yeah. It takes away from the work they put on the sets as well, because you can't see how grand it actually is.
It makes it look cheap because it feels, because that's the thing. Now I'm gonna borrow some from Red Letter Media's review, but whatever.
As long as you agree.
Yeah, and I agree with what they said, because it's a trick that you use on lower budgeted movies. You move in closer to your actors, and keep them in focus and everything else blurry, because maybe you don't have a great set because you can't pay for it. So we'll shoot on a smaller scale, but just have a more intimate camera work. But here they don't have they don't need to do that. They had millions of dollars to work with, and they worked with those millions of dollars to make this. The grand
amazing
set design.
Yeah.
And then everything is out of focus. And it has that... There was something that I thought was strange in the trailers, even before I saw the movie. Everything almost has like a haze to it, and it's very bright.
Yeah.
Which I think they mentioned, like, you can get it really bright but still have vibrant colors. But why would you want that?
What vibrant colors?
I mean...
most of it's in deserts.
Yeah, but I mean, the colors we do see are vibrant, I suppose.
I guess.
Not that it matters.
But I'm thinking, like, comparing it to the poster, which is just neon.
Yeah, why
there's not a lot of bright colors in the film, because everything's decayed and dusty.
The poster doesn't reflect the movie at all.
No.
It's so weird. And that is probably the biggest problem with the movie. The camera work. It's terrible.
Actually, I do think there's it is probably the biggest, but one of the other big problems is the story. The script isn't that good.
No.
Like, and looking through, like, the trivia and the hashtag on Twitter, there are so many, like, extra things and details that are not noticeable in the movie unless you watch it, like, 3 or 4 times back to back, probably. Unless you look at, like, interviews and read articles about it, because apparently, some of the zombies are robots. Not as acting, but in movie.
Yes. Okay. Let's get right into that. We'll talk about the story later, because let's talk about some of the weird stuff.
The story is, but the weird stuff is, for example, why would some zombies be robots?
I don't know. And did you react to that? Because my head literally went, what the fuck?
I didn't even notice it.
Oh, okay. There's one zombie in the end when they're running through the casino. They're going up towards the chopper, and I guess it's...
I might have zoned out by then, though.
Okay. Yeah, because you're 2 hours in, and it's far from over. I think it's Bautista, who turns around and shoots a zombie, and his head, or the skin on his face just rips open, and his eye starts glowing blue, which... A few zombies had blue glowing eyes before. Did you notice that? Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
Some people have said that was the alphas, or like the first alphas, the alphas, or whatever. But
Zeus didn't have blue glowing eyes.
Yeah, Zeus didn't have blue glowing eyes. Yeah, there's 2 other zombies in the mix that has glowing eyes. And I was like, okay. That was strange. And then when he shoots that zombie, and you see a metallic skeleton under that skin... I was just like, and the eyes glow up again. I was just like, what is this? And it's never mentioned anywhere in the movie or in the behind the scenes stuff. A lot of people have mentioned it online, and now I saw some quickly before we started streaming. People are like, there are supposed to be hints at that UFOs are in the movie.
Yeah, apparently, the first scene after the army convoy crash, when the Alpha Zeus, as he is named, stands and looks over Vegas, you're supposed to see 2 UFOs in the sky above Vegas.
I don't know.
I didn't look at the sky. I looked at Zeus and Vegas.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
why?
What does it add to the movie? I mean, they are working on sequels and prequels and
Yeah,
spin-offs and
apparently.
oh my god. And then honestly, what's the point of the alpha zombies other than them being faster and more dangerous? Like, what? Why are we spending so much time on developing them as characters?
I don't know.
Why they
That's what
almost
I
get
meant with the convoy scene kind of being unnecessary, because we don't need to have this whole conspiracy of the government creating alpha zombies.
yeah.
Unless it pays out in this movie, which it doesn't. None of the conspiracies, none of the theories, none of the details play out and explain themselves even a little bit in this movie. We find out that zombies can get pregnant.
Yeah, sort of. Uh, and
Like what? Why? They're dead.
yeah, but
Or they're supposed to be.
not
But if they're
dead.
not, why aren't we told something?
Yeah,
At least something. So we have an incentive to be like, oh, we can know more in the next movie. No. We're just left with a not even a cliffhanger. It's a minor detail that you could have missed,
yeah.
basically.
Um, and there is of course the scene with the security guy Tanaka security guy, the obvious bad guy.
Yeah, Martin or whatever his name is.
That he was actually sent there to get an alpha's head, so they
Mm-hmm.
could create an army of the dead.
So they can use the blood.
Yeah, to control zombies with, but that goes nowhere, as it should. And but then once again you're left wondering, like, why are we spending so much time explaining the alpha zombies, if in the end you're just gonna shoot them anyway, like regular zombies.
Yeah.
And
There's just
and
too many like details and things that don't pan out in the movie
yeah,
that are just things that are told outside.
but they're not even told outside. We're not being told
Oh,
anything.
Twitter.
Yeah, but that's just people speculating. That has nothing to do with
No,
what's
I
actually
guess.
going on in the movie. That's just fan theories. Terrible, terrible fan theories. And then what's the point of the zombies having a hierarchy and having like a king and a queen? Like they are the rulers of a dead town where people almost never go, but still, you can make an offering to them so you can move freely through the town. What is the point of all that? Like the focus should have been on our main characters, the heist, and killing zombies.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the zombies are not there to pose like a great threat. I mean, they do because of the alphas.
Yeah.
But they still
it would have made more sense if it was just, like they call them, shamblers being in the way.
Yeah. There's clashing ideas. Like, the
Yeah.
focus should have been on the heist. The heist part of the movie is the shortest part of the movie. They get down to the vault. They use 2 zombies to trigger the 3
Booby traps.
and then it's just one guy who puts his ear to the door and scrolls the wheels. Like, that's like something they stopped doing in movies like 50 years ago, because you can't actually do that. You can't even do it with a stethoscope. Everyone knows that's fake. You gotta have like laser mics.
I mean, he mentions
or whatever.
that there is more to it than just that, but we only get to see that.
We only get to see that part. So
we don't get it. Like,
why not have like they just walk up to the vault?
Yeah.
Like, before they get to the vault, there is one scene where they shoot zombies, where the random girl with the headband gets killed. The random girl who was
the YouTuber's assistant or something.
Yeah, who had zero. I barely know what her name was. Gina? I don't even know what her name is.
Wow. She's. I can't find her in the list even.
but she's the one who suspects the bad guy first, even in the bus. Like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. I don't trust people like you. I'm like, Why?
Why?
Why? Like
Why are you suspicious?
we know that he's the bad guy, but why is she spelling it out like they do later in the movie as well, when Tig Notaro's character, whatever she is,
Marianne Peters,
right? Peters, the helicopter pilot.
Helicopter pilot.
Who
was replaced?
Yes, we'll talk about that. When they like stop in a tunnel or something, and she's like, "Why are we letting him tag along? Shouldn't we just kill him? He's obviously a bad guy." They literally say that when he's standing there. It's just so weird. And like, is that supposed to be like a clever or like edgy joke? Like, oh, we'll just kill the people we don't like.
Cool chick, like every other chick in this fucking movie. Honestly, I can't find her in the list of actors.
No, I saw.
Is she even credited?
She's been in a bunch of Zack Snyder movies though. She's a stunt performer first, I think, and now she's kind of getting into acting. But anyway, yeah, she has a pretty cool shootout with the zombies in the dark. And then it's like her friend, what's his name? Mikey Guzman of the Dead, YouTuber? Whatever.
The YouTuber.
Yeah, the YouTuber. Or the Reddit guy, because he's famous. There's entire Reddit threads devoted to this guy. Oh, okay.
Because he live streams when he shoots zombies.
There are Reddit threads devoted to everything. Should have said YouTube instead. Whatever. That's neat.
Yeah, but I mean, he's videoing it, so it should have been YouTube.
Yeah, and he has a subscribe button like it's on YouTube. I don't know.
Maybe
anyway,
wasn't allowed to say it.
That's another thing. Where is he shooting those zombies? Are there zombies outside of Las Vegas? I thought they were contained to Las Vegas.
Contained.
So he was inside the wall?
I guess? Or maybe it was before they walled it in? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
It's also a thing that I didn't really realize until like reading stuff and watching the behind the scenes. There's 6 years between the opening credits when the breakout happens.
Oh, 6 years.
And when they actually go back in there to get the money. They
don't mention that.
No, right? They don't.
No, and no one seems to have aged that much. So I was thinking like, yeah, maybe it's been a couple of years.
I think they said 6 years in the documentary.
Oh, okay, I missed that detail.
Because they mentioned it on like how much the zombies have decayed.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'm like, yeah, sure. 6 years in a dry desert will do this to a human body. Yeah. Cool. But why 6 years?
6 years.
And why isn't that even mentioned in the movie? Like they mentioned that it's been some time.
Yeah.
But they don't say 6 years, as far as I know.
No, I don't know. Well, once again, I think maybe that's nitpicky, but yeah, 6 years is a long time.
Annoying.
Yeah. And I also want to say, like, before we go on, we are nitpicking and pointing out a bunch of like honestly ridiculous stuff because the movie wasn't engaging. So everything you when you're watching it, all you can see are the faults. Because if your movie is good, you're like, you might notice a couple of
everything basically.
Yeah, but you're fine with it because at least the movie's entertaining. I mean,
you're distracted by the actual movie instead of being distracted by the mishaps and details that are wrong or weird or unnecessary.
I dare you to watch like Jurassic Park and try to not get swept up in the adventure of that wonderful movie, but instead just look at all the details. There's so many misses in that movie. I've actually done this.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of misses. You're like, oh, what the hell? They're like breaking camera rules, and the eggshell is not where it was before. But the thing is, it doesn't matter because the movie is so fun and engaging.
Yeah.
Here, it's not. So all you notice, you're just sitting watching like, that's fake. That's wrong. Why are they not acting? You're like,
that's unnecessary.
Yeah. And it's so annoying. I really wanted to like this movie. It was right up my alley.
The trailer looked awesome. The poster and like everything, the story you heard, what you like were told about it looked so cool. It could have been a classic zombie heist movie.
Yeah, it could have been the first zombie heist movie.
Yeah, but like a classic heist and a classic zombie movie combined.
Yeah.
It would have been awesome. No, they had to go overboard and add so many weird details that people then sit and nitpick and notice and make up these giant theories about.
Yeah.
I've even found that apparently there's some sort of time travel involved.
Yes, they hinted that, and I was like, oh no, is that going to be a thing? Because when they get down to the vault, there are because they have been hinting and even mentioning in the movie that they might not be the first team that Tanaka sent down there. And they mentioned that. And they should talk to the coyote about that. Have you taken any other groups down here? She's like, I don't know. But when they're actually down in the vault, you see bodies that have their clothes and their jewelry on. You see the key pendant that she has, the leading lady.
Which one of them?
You know, the main. There's Bautista, and there's the girl, the Spanish woman or Mexican woman.
Maria Cruz.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Ana de la Reguera.
Isn't that the daughter?
No, that's Ella Purnell.
Ella Purnell. Sorry, yeah. It's her. You know who gets her neck twisted off or her head twisted off. You know
his love interest.
The love interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a necklace with a key on it that you notice in a bunch of scenes. One of the skeletons has that key necklace on it, and Vanderho, the big guy with the saw, which he never uses other than the opening credits, very annoying. Yeah. He mentions maybe we're stuck in a time loop, blah blah blah.
See, I didn't pick up on that. I picked up on the fact that there were people sent there before them and that they failed and died in there. Like, sure.
I mean, he was probably only saying it to scare Dieter, the vault guy. Yeah. But then they're making.
I didn't even notice like the details of them having the same necklaces, even though they like zoomed in on them. I'm looking at a picture and I can barely notice it.
But I was like, when I saw it, I was like, whoa, what is this now? It's like that could be interesting to do, but then they don't do anything with it. Okay. Oh. It's just there to be. Fun.
Except for apparently, if you look at Zack Snyder's tweet, he says something about like he says it, he writes it 3 times and then # Army of the Dead.
What does he write?
I'm not sure what exactly it was he wrote. I lost the tweet. Oh. I'm gonna find it, but it's like, so why do we care? What do you mean by this?
Yeah, and what is the point? What does that add to the movie? How about you flesh out your characters instead?
Yeah,
because none of the characters, even Bautista's character, have no characteristics. There's nothing to make them feel like real people. Nothing to make us feel, oh no, they're gonna die. Which, for some reason, every scene when someone dies is super emotional. Like, no. Like,
so I don't give a damn. Fighting and dying, fighting and dying, fighting and dying. # Army of the Dead. Oh. So apparently that's some sort of confirmation of the time loop, and what we're watching is the 4th time.
But why?
Yeah, why? What's the point?
I'm wondering if he's got like hubris because, you know, he had this whole Justice League universe planned out. So like he was planting ideas all the way back in Man of Steel that are still not come to fruition, and probably will not ever, because they're not going to make any more Justice League movies. At least not his Justice League movies.
Nope.
So, like, what is the point? Like, you know what the point is, and it's a broader problem with filmmaking nowadays. It's not focusing on creating a quality movie. What they're focusing on is creating content.
Yeah. Like we've said 100 times. They're just doing it for the big bucks. They're not doing it for the art.
Yeah. I actually saw...
Even though, obviously, there's a lot of art going into this movie. We've seen that. It is, for him at least, a lot of art.
Sure, but it's all wasted. Yeah. And there's a thing, I saw a pretty good, I don't know, video essay or whatever you want to call it, by Thomas Flight, where he talked about if cinema is dying, because, you know, the whole thing with Scorsese last year when he likened Marvel movies or superhero movies with theme park rides. They're not cinema, they're theme park rides. Nothing wrong with that.
But
they're not
we're
cinema.
Actually getting nowadays. We're getting movies based on theme park rides.
Yes. But that this guy then, Thomas Flight, he kind of broke down an article that Scorsese wrote in the New Yorker, I think. Doesn't matter. where he talked about what he actually meant when he said that, and the fact that nowadays, like what we're doing right now, live streaming this on YouTube, or me making videos on YouTube, or people streaming video, like you streaming video games on Twitch, is more or less indistinguishable from a movie like Army of the Dead. What we do costs us barely any money. That costs $90 million, but it has basically the same potential to get views.
Yeah, it has the same online coverage.
Yeah, so and people will scroll through it like, oh, here's Lady Baxter streaming Resident Evil. Oh, here's an Army of the Dead, and they'll just scroll through it. There's not a distinction between, you know, people in their homes making little videos and a big budget blockbuster movie. So instead of making one movie, they're making content. So they have to plan now an anime spin-off, a sequel, a prequel, and there's a bunch of little details in the movies so everyone will keep watching for those in the sequels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of focusing on making one good movie and then maybe do a sequel if they really wanna, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a problem. And I think he's getting kind of swept up in that.
I mean,
even though he says he doesn't want to make movies like that, I think that's kind of what he's getting into now.
Yeah. Maybe he's not seeing it yet, though. But I think a lot of the problem with that, specifically nowadays, is that online viewing of movies have become a big thing. Not just because of the pandemic, but in general. Yeah. Netflix and HBO and all those streaming services have monopolized a big part of the movie industry.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, which we've said before. It is a shame because the movie industry doesn't flourish with that. They rely on creating universes so they can continue making movies within the same thing to keep the audience entertained.
Continue creating content instead of movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And the problem with this is that now we're getting away from Army of the Dead a little bit, but that's fine.
That's fine. Again, there isn't a lot to say about the
No, we'll get back to a little more about the story and the ending, but we just got to talk about this. Because everything always progresses. There's always been a progression to everything. I mean, the way how we act socially, the music industry, the video game industry, art in general, as well as movies. It's always, been progressing.
Evolving.
And usually for the better. I mean, you can always say that we're currently living in the best of times. There's never been a better time to be alive than now.
Because we have access to the world within our pocket, literally.
Yeah. No, I mean, in the 70s, they could have said the same thing. Because,
sure. We can always say, because for us, it's because we have everything we need. We have access to everything. Back then, what they had was access to everything in their...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, their ability, I guess.
So you're always living in the best of times.
Yeah, sure. You're never going to wish you were somewhere in history.
Yeah.
Nah.
But then there's always people saying, it was better before. I mean, literally, the last American president built his entire campaign on that to make America great again.
Again.
Yeah, again, because it was better before.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if people like me, who I don't want to make America great again, but for me, I don't see the progression of the film industry where it's going now with creating content instead of movies. I don't see that as a positive progression. Am I just being damn you kids kind of old guy, or is...
Are you a boomer?
Yeah, am I just being a boomer, or is it actually a negative thing? I don't know.
Well, I think a bit of both, because it is a shame that an art form is literally disappearing, because the movies, the way they used to be made, the way they like the creation behind it, the art behind it, the craft is disappearing, and that's a shame because it is still one of the...
But I get it. I agree with you, but I'm like playing devil's advocate. Is it not just evolving?
Well, is it evolving when you completely erase what you used to be? Because, like you said, it's becoming more like a YouTube video instead of a movie.
Yeah.
shouldn't the platforms be separate still? Like, we're not gonna say that paintings and photography are the same, right?
No, yeah, sure.
So in this case, movies would be paintings and YouTube would be photography. They're similar, but they're still separate, and they should never become the same art form. They should be separate.
Yeah.
That's at least my opinion. Because I want the film industry to be what it was even 10 years ago. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, right at the start of all the Marvel universes and
yeah.
Star Wars.
Honestly, not to be that one bringing up Marvel again, but Marvel fucking ruined everything.
We do it every time. Yes, it was an amazing idea for Hollywood.
Concept, sure.
Yeah, the concept and for all the producers and everything involved, they must think it's the greatest thing ever, especially those who are working on with Disney and Marvel. But for the art form of movie making, I agree. I think it was terrible.
Yep.
Absolutely terrible. Movies have always been a commodity. We've talked about this before as well, because it's the most expensive art form there is.
Sure.
I mean, anyone can paint a picture. Anyone, you know what I mean. And anyone can record a song.
Yeah.
Anyone can write a book. Anyone can technically make a movie, but it'll look like this.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing right now, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
But if you want to make a really good-looking movie, it's going to cost you a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So there's always been that aspect to the art form.
Yeah, everyone can take a picture with a cheap camera or buy a piece of paper and some paint, but not everyone can build an entire set and hire thousands of people to actually make a proper movie.
That's what makes film as an art form stick out. It is, like I said, the most expensive art form. So money has always been important to the movie industry, more important than in other art forms. But
they also make the most money out of all the art forms, basically. So
yes.
It's balancing itself out in that aspect.
It's always been kind of a balancing act up until, I don't know, the late 70s. It was a balancing act. Like, we want to make great movies, but we also want to make money, because that's when the blockbusters started. You had Jaws and Star Wars and The Godfather. That's early 70s, but still. But now you're like, the balancing act is like, you have art, you have money, and it's like they were in the first. It was like, no, art is more important. Then it's like, it's evening out, because we can make really good movies, but they cost more. And now it's like, they gotta make more money, and the art is not that important anymore. We gotta just sell the product. Not a piece of art. It's a product.
Yeah.
And that's that.
I hate it.
And this.
I think some directors and writers have said the same. Like, they don't want to make movies anymore because the art is gone. It's just a thing. It's just a product that they're selling. They're not actually able to express anything or show the world anything, basically, because most of it's CGI as well these days.
Yeah. But
which, again, they did well in this one, because a lot of the zombies are prosthetics and makeup and real. And they even had they used real animals in certain things, like the horse.
The zombie horse.
That was
awesome
cool.
that it was real, because you could see it was real, and I love that.
Yeah, okay, the tiger, obviously, it's hard to have a tiger on set and make it look zombified. But the way they chose to do it then, to have a real tiger as inspiration and literally capture the footage of a real tiger's movements, is still very impressive.
I just gotta say, though, they did multiple real zombie dogs in 2001 in Resident Evil.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you can do it, I'm just saying. Anyway.
Maybe a tiger is harder.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder, yes. But getting back to Army of the Dead, I'm not saying that this is like the worst kind of movie ever. I mean, honestly, there is more of an artistic feel to this than a Marvel movie, I would say, because Zack Snyder is so involved, and even though he failed, it's his movie. He wrote it, he directed it, He produced it. He even filmed it. Like, this is the movie he wanted to make.
Yeah.
Problem is, it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Again, this was art the way we want it, but it just wasn't what we enjoyed.
But then there are the little things we talked about, the nitpicks, the little details that he throws in, which feels like that new kind of cinema or whatever.
Yeah. But that could just be because he's been working for years on one project.
Could be, yeah.
Maybe it just evolved, and when he eventually had to actually produce it, he just like took all the best bits of what he had, like threw it all together.
Probably, yeah. But let's.
You were mentioning before, just one more last nitpick.
Okay.
You were mentioning before we started filming that people had found like black pixels and stuff.
Yes, no, dead pixels. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching a GIF of the Queen, and I can actually see him.
Yes.
I didn't see them when I watched the movie because my screens aren't that perfect. But
no, you were watching it on a 1080 screen. I did as well. The first time I watched it on my computer, and I have two 1080 screens, so I didn't notice anything. But then yesterday I watched it on my regular living room TV, and it's a pretty nice 4K TV, big 4K TV, and I was like, oh look, I knew what I was looking for, but still.
Position, so it's very close as well. Like
yeah, but it was right there. It's like white. There's white dots in my screen.
Yeah.
And that is just insane. How a movie today,
unless that is intentional.
It can't be there. I know he talked about he loved the camera lenses because they create flaws in the picture, but dead pixels, no. That's not a lens issue. That's a hardware issue. Like the camera.
Maybe they're a subliminal code that has something to do with the prequel or something.
Oh no. I hope not. Because, that is terrible. There are some scenes where there are like 6 or 7 little dots in your screen. They're just white. Like, I think I have a dead pixel somewhere on one of my screens. I can't see it now, but sometimes you see it. And it's very annoying. So if they're there intentionally, maron. Or
I hope not.
Yeah, if they're not there intentionally, I don't understand how you could miss it. Because like I said before we started streaming, a big movie like this, I edit little YouTube videos, and it still takes me hours and hours to edit it.
Yeah.
A big 2.5 hour, $90 million movie, when you edit it, you watch every scene hundreds of times over and over.
And there's more than one person doing it.
Yes, Zack Snyder is there. You have a couple of editors, probably a producer is in there.
Yeah.
And it's filmed in at least 4K. I think it's an RE camera, so it's at least 4K because it's shown in 4K, which means that they edited it in 4K. So
and when they're done, they do rewatch the entire thing to make sure it looks okay. So
they must have seen it. And then I wonder if like it was just there in the footage, and unless they reshoot it, they can't do anything about it. So they were just like, we'll just have to leave it. But then once again, Mike Stoklasa from Red Alert Media pointed out, it's not every scene, it's just some scenes.
Yeah.
And at the most, it's like six dots for like a few frames.
Sure.
Why don't you just spend another extra couple of hours painting that in? It's literally just go dot, dot, dot. You don't even have to like color match it. You just black dot, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that would probably be fine.
But no, they didn't do that. They left dead pixels in their movie.
Yeah. I have to backtrack to one more thing.
Okay.
I found out what the actress is called that we couldn't, with the bandana.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Samantha. Samantha Wynn.
Wynn, yes.
I cannot find her in the cast list.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if IMDb has missed her or if she's been discredited or something.
No,
but she's in,
like, I saw an interview with her the other day.
We have noticed though that my IMDb sometimes differs from yours. We have that on some video where we see different titles of a movie.
Yes, please check out.
So maybe it's just
check out the Spoilercast playlist for that. It's on.
Find it. Channel. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah,
but I can't find her in the list. I don't know if I'm blind or if they missed her or if something's wrong.
See if I can find her. Samantha Wynn. She's in stunts for Army of the Dead as well.
but she's not in the. There she is. I found her. I'm sorry, I just missed her.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! I've been scrolling through this list 5 times and I couldn't find her. Okay, never mind. Back to the story.
Yes, back to the story. So
my main issue with the story was that we get this awesome opening credits with them fighting the first zombies and getting out of Vegas, and it looks so cool. You get to know who the characters are. I loved how that was written and shot with all them like doing something, and then you see them standing there with a portrait or something. I was like, that looks so cool.
Yeah, and those little inserts where you see them holding up pictures of their family, or the Vanderhoek character, Omar, whatever the guy's called.
Yeah,
the actor. Doesn't matter.
Hardwick. Omari Hardwick.
Yes. You see him hold up his graduation photo with his parents.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is like non-verbal exposition that's just telling through showing, and then showing, that lady who we never see because she dies. First I thought that was Bautista's wife, but she turns up later as another lady. There's the story of her losing her child, so then she becomes very emotional when she finds other children and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like an entire little story of these characters in the opening credits that is almost more emotional than the actual emotional story of the rest of the movie.
Yeah. So parts of it are cooler action scenes.
Yes.
Than what we get in the rest of the movie.
You get to see
the fucking chainsaw thing.
Yeah, you get to see Vanderhoek use the chainsaw to cut up zombies. Oh, and I gotta say, regarding the gore, there's so much real blood in this movie. There's CGI blood, a lot of it. But if you look at the behind the scenes stuff, even when he's like sawing people, there's an actual hose attached to the saw that they green screened out that is just spraying blood everywhere. There's so much blood, more blood in that opening credit scene than in the rest of the movie.
Basically. And I mean, sure, the zombies are dried out. There's not going to be a lot of blood in them.
But still. And you have when they have to execute the people in the car because they have bite marks and everything. And you feel it.
Yeah.
You can see it in her face, like, oh, shit. And she shoots them, and just blood sprays everywhere.
Love that.
Yeah, and the commander guy with the purple smoke who's signaling for the airstrike.
Yeah.
As he gets eaten up, he's like, no! Or when he uses the fucking Gatling gun or whatever it is.
The army guy with the parachute?
Yeah. So many cool little set pieces or whatever. And like I said, more character development than in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, because after that, the only character you get any kind of development around is Scott Ward.
Yeah, and that's
and to be fair, he's the most boring character in the entire movie.
Yes, they even, like I mentioned in my review, they even make a joke of it in the movie when they talk to Dieter, and he says, "What's your name, by the way?" And he says, "Scott Ward." And he says, "Sorry?" "Scott Ward." When he mimics him and says, "Scott Ward." You're a fucking, I call him a psychic vampire, because that's what he is. He just sucks all the fun out of every scene he's in. And he's not a bad actor. He's just a boring character.
Yeah, there's no, I mean, even his name is fucking boring. Because you have Dieter, you have the Coyote, you have at least Cruz, like something. No, he's a Scott Ward.
Scott Ward.
It's in Sweden, we have like on all the commercials for credit cards and stuff, it's just Anna Andersson.
Yeah, or Maria Andersson.
The most generic, boring name ever. That's what he is, basically.
Aaron A. Aronson.
Yeah, basically. And even though he's the only one who actually has family in the movie, their dynamic is dull. It's dead. It's nothing.
It's bad.
Yeah.
You have the scene where he goes to talk to her, the night scene. Like, you need to help us with this. I'll get you $15 million so you can get out of
here.
I know it was a bad father. And she's like, I hate you. You're like, okay, something must have happened in the 6 years. I mean, other than the mother being murdered.
Yeah.
But he was saving his daughter. So, and then there's some little tension between them. But then there is no mention of their relationship. They never interact other than him saying, "You can't come with us," and she says, "I will," and she's like, "Fine."
You stay close to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's protective.
And then it's
Great.
like
Every father is.
I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes into the movie when they are over by the generator that's gonna give power to the whole casino. When she's with him and he's like, "Oh, I thought we could kind of talk. Like, I know that you probably hate me for what I did, and I understand that because I mean I killed your mother." She's like, "Oh no, that wasn't it. I mean
That's okay.
I was devastated, but you did it to save me. It's the fact that you never talked to me afterwards." And he's like, oh, but yeah, because I was feeling guilty, so I didn't think you wanted to talk to me." She's like, "Of course I wanted to talk to you. You're my father.
You're my dad."
Yeah. And you're like, okay, that's something you might think like after the first couple of weeks, but it's been 6 years,
like,
and you never talked to each other.
Like, Dad, hey, why are you not talking to me?
Yes.
After a year at least, like, come on.
Yes. If it's been 6 years, have they never actually tried to reach out to each other and tell them, "I'm fine with you killing my mother. She was a zombie. I need you to be my father"? Because if there was 6 years in between there, she must have been like in high school when
it's a teenager when that happened.
Yeah.
Like, did she not grow up? Did she not become an adult and realize, oh, maybe I should reach out to my dad? But shit goes down.
But even that, like, if she was a teenager, didn't he at least have to like take care of her until she was 18 or something? Did they?
Probably.
So they were probably living in the same house at least for a year or two more after that. Didn't they ever try to talk? And it comes out now, and he's like, "Oh, okay. Are we friends now?" She's like, "I don't know about that, but And you're like, "Oh, that's it? That's your big heartfelt moment between father and daughter? That's supposed to be the emotional core of the movie, and it's just, oh, okay." And then there's no mention of it for the next hour and a half until the very last. Well, until he has, "I have to find my daughter," but that's obvious. It's instinct.
Yeah, that's just because she ran away, and he's like, "Fuck it."
And that stupid side plot.
Yeah.
With the mother. The whole refugee center thing didn't make sense to me. It felt like an obvious like this is supposed to like represent, refugees in America.
It's just a political planting to have like something to say actually.
But that camp is for people who escaped Las Vegas. It's a quarantine zone. Yeah. So why is everyone a foreigner? It felt like very clumsy, like social commentary. Terrible, clumsy social commentary. And also,
like they mentioned in the news reel, you see, like, if they were infected, they would have turned by now.
Yes, you turn immediately. After you're bitten, there's literally minutes until you turn.
Yeah, we see that with the cop guy.
Yeah, one of the guards, the fucking asshole guy.
Yeah, Bert Cummings or Theo Rossi.
Yeah, Bert Cummings.
Yeah, he turns within the movie, and they're just there for barely a day.
Yeah, people have been living in these camps for 6 years.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
Anyway, back to the emotional core of the movie.
Yeah.
They never talk to each other until the very end, when they crash with the helicopter. They make it out of the city, but the alpha guy, the Zeus guy, bites Scott Ward. And they crash with the helicopter. He manages to shoot him in the head. It's a really cool slow motion shot when his head explodes. I like that.
Sure.
Like I said, the gore was good. It was good gore. But they crash with the helicopter, and she steps out basically unscathed. Everyone else is dead.
Yeah.
She finds her dad, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm wounded. But we made it, ha ha ha." And then it's on the arm, whatever. He shows like,
like the shoulder.
Yeah, I've been bitten. You have to do it. She's like, "Oh no, I love you. I can't do it."
Then
what?
No, she doesn't though.
Yeah, she does.
She does shoot him.
Yeah, of course. And you're like, this is not earned.
You do care?
I mean, of course, it's a daughter having to kill her father. Of course, it's she's gonna cry. But we've talked about this as well. Even if it's like the most natural thing for anyone to think that, of course, she's going to be sad after shooting her father. You still have to show that in the movie.
Yeah. Because honestly, if
you can't just expect the audience,
you're supposed to see that they're family.
Yeah.
With how they interact, you shouldn't have to tell us that, oh, this is my daughter.
Yeah.
No, you should like realize that by how she looks at you when you turns up or something.
And that's indicative of the rest of the relationships in the movie. Like when the love interest gets her head twisted off, my reaction wasn't, "Oh no, she died." It was like, "What?" Because it was such a quick way to kill off one of the main characters. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and we do get a reaction from Scott Ward.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh!"
He's
slow motion.
Devastated. We didn't get that they were that in love.
Yeah, and
like, I get that they had an affair.
I don't know. I don't even think they had that.
They flirted.
They might have flirted, and she mentions, just like the daughter, like, you were so distant after your wife died, so I never like made any moves on you. He was like, oh, I didn't realize. I was like, you're fucking retard.
Yeah.
And then they should have made a thing of him shutting himself off from everyone. But that never really comes through in the movie either. It's just he seems to be like socially and emotionally inept. That seems to be the problem for him.
He's the guy who saved the prime minister or something.
Yeah.
In the original outburst. Like, hello? Do we get any more than that either? No, we get like 3 small pieces of something. 4, technically, with the wife, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is even smaller. We get that, yeah, he has a daughter. He was an ex-Marine who saved like someone important once, but then no recognition for that.
Yeah.
And he had a girl that had a crush on him.
And they have to tell us that, like, hey, I kind of liked you, but I never made any moves because you never reciprocated.
They have to tell us that I like you.
Why wasn't there tension between them? And when he turns up, she's like, oh, Scott, instead of, oh, you, because they're like,
yeah,
hey,
like,
hey, they're buddies,
Here? What do you want now? No, be like, oh shit, hi.
And the thing is, if you're gonna
do an almost kissing scene or something.
Something, but no.
Do they even like stand next to each other anytime in the movie?
Barely. It's right before she gets her head twisted off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's when she says, "No, I kind of liked you," and I'm like, okay.
The concept when we saw the trailers and the initial pictures of it looked so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna have a proper like just fighting through a horde of zombies, not like the old movies where they couldn't afford to have a lot of zombies.
No, this should have been just
they could actually have
down zombies.
Like it should have been like in World War Z when you see the fucking ocean of zombies making waves over tall ass walls.
Yeah, or it should have been like the lawnmower scene in Brain Dead.
Yeah,
like them badass dudes and gals with guns mowing down hundreds of zombies to heavy metal music. But we never get that. We get one scene like that in the middle.
Tools for it.
Yeah, one scene in the middle with Bandana Girl, Samantha Wynn.
Chambers.
And then the end. But at that point, it's been 2 hours, and you're just like, so you don't care.
Yeah, and you've seen too many exposition things that don't make sense. So you're like, just waiting for something to pan out, but you don't get that either. Imagine if they walk into Las Vegas, and they're like, oh, the Bly's right over there, and then it's the shortcut scene in Shaun of the Dead when he climbs up and like, let me look, climbs down. It's about, okay, so do you see it? Yes. Are there zombies? Yes. How many? Lots. So, and then they just, well, fuck it. And then you just put on like the Doom soundtrack and just fucking go. Do that. And then we wouldn't care that the characters were flat. Who cares? Because it's an action movie. Characters. They're just muscular dudes that shoot guns. That would have been fine. But instead it's this trying to be dramatic and emotional fucking slog for an hour in the middle
where nothing happens because they don't use that time to develop the characters.
They honestly develop the alpha zombie couple more than they develop the main characters. Because we get that there's a king and a queen.
Yeah.
They are pregnant. They are important.
When they kill the queen and he carries her body into the house where they live, the Olympus, and he digs out the fetus from her, that's like, oh shit, that sucks. I don't really care about the zombies, but I get it.
No, but it's like, wow.
Yeah,
dude,
that makes more sense than the human characters.
To it.
But imagine if...
Again, it gives us something to like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We don't even get what the fuck moments with the characters, the main characters, because they're just bags of meat. Oh my god, there's zombies in the zombie movie. They're the zombies.
Oh yeah, it's like the end of, I don't know, volume 3 of the Walking Dead comics. When the last, if you read the thick volume ones, the third one ends with what's his name, Rick Grimes saying, "Oh, all this time I thought the zombies were the real like living dead, but now I understand we are the Walking Dead." Great ending, but then it continued for 40 more volumes. So.
Yeah.
Then it should have been that. But imagine if the movie actually focused on the zombie killing and the actual heist. Yeah. Imagine if they had to like run and gun to get to the vault.
Maybe even like build a wall around Dieter while he tries to open the vault, and they have to like keep shooting, keep holding him off. I almost got it.
Yeah, and then oh fuck, the generator is running out of gas. We got to do something. Like, give them some problem solving to do. Then you don't have to focus on the characters. Like, focus on problem solving instead.
They made whole deal out of everyone carrying a what's it called? A tank of gas for the chopper.
Yeah.
But the chopper is only in 2 scenes. One where they find it and one when they leave.
Yeah, it should have been like, okay, and also the fact that they have more than 24 hours to get in and out of the city. But then in the end, they like bump it down to an hour.
Yeah.
That should have been it from the beginning.
It's a real like you got to get in and out.
Yeah,
now.
Right when they walk into Las Vegas, they get a call from Tanaka about bad news. You don't have 24 hours anymore. You have 2 hours. Bye. Click, and they're like,
because then also
fuck,
the movie could be in real time.
Yeah, and they just start running. Dieter and Vanderho are by the vault. Guzman and the lady, whatever her name was,
Cruz.
Cruz. They get
Go
all
to the chopper.
They run with Peters with the gas for the chopper, and they have to fight their way up. And at the same time, if you even want to involve the alpha zombies, they have because they couldn't wait, like the coyote said, like we have to give an offering and blah blah blah. They just had to run in, so now they're encroaching on the alpha's territory. So then Scott Ward and his lady and his daughter and the coyote, they have to like hold them back, or maybe even like try to like get into the alpha stronghold to kill the main alpha so the other alphas die or something.
Or like divert them.
Yeah, and
run the other direction and have the zombies chasing them.
Then you have different stories going on, and you have a ticking clock. Instead of the ticking clock just being the last half hour, it's a ticking clock from the moment they get into Vegas.
Yeah.
And like, we gotta fucking go! And then you can have little character moments. Like, oh, I just wanted you to be my dad again. Really? Then it's fine that it's just a little bit, because you're more focused on the action. Yeah. Then you would say like, there's character development in this action movie.
Exactly. Not, there's action in this non-existent character development movie?
Yeah. Barely any action. It's just so easy to make it, like, I'm not saying I could write a better script, but I could.
We keep doing this. We keep coming back to like, we could probably rewrite this.
I honestly, like, I could probably be a pretty good script doctor. I'm sorry.
Script doctor, yes.
But anyway, that's really all I have to say about the movie. I was supremely
disappointed.
Yeah, in this movie.
Yeah, agreed.
And even if I kind of like the Dieter character, I've no interest in watching some sort of heist rom-com prequel with his character, which is what they're going for. I'm like, what? Why would I care? and then some sort of anime spin-off show, and a live-action sequel. Ugh. Oh yeah, and the fucking sequel bait after the ending. Though. Yeah, but you saw the scene where Vanderhoof climbs out of the wreckage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Rents a plane, and then it turns out, he was bitten.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought he was going to Tanaka to you fucked us over, and then he becomes a zombie and kills Tanaka. But no, he want to go to Mexico City, so he's gonna land in Mexico City, and it's all gonna start over again, so they can make another one. Okay. That sounds like it was terrible sequel bait, because it complete anticlimax after we already had the proper ending, the ending was fine because it was a regular cliche emotional ending, but then it had to ruin even that with a terrible sequel bait.
Yeah.
That's gonna have. That's gonna have to be it.
I'm thoroughly disappointed. I don't know what else to say.
I'm not gonna rewatch it. I'm not gonna suggest people watch it.
No.
And it's very sad because I was really hoping Zack Snyder was back on top.
Yep.
We'll see what he does next. Hopefully he'll do better.
Yeah.
But
I haven't even looked at what his next.
I don't know either. Maybe something. I don't know.
Actually, no. There's not a lot.
No, I mean he just finished 2 movies this year, so.
Yeah.
But that's gonna have to be it.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone listening to us rant. If you liked it, be sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, and if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or iHeartRadio or whatever, be sure to follow, give 5 stars and all that. And like we said before, if you want to support the show even more, check us out on Patreon for exclusive episodes and a completely new podcast. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And in the future, some movie vlogs, because the cinemas are opening up here in Sweden again. So we're going to be doing those as well. All that's on Patreon, so check that out if you want to. But we'll see you in the next episode, when we'll talk about, I don't know, something.
As usual, we don't know.
Probably The Conjuring 3, because I think no, not yet.
No,
because we won't have seen that yet.
No.
But we'll talk about something.
We're in Sweden. Movie dates are slightly different from America and stuff.
Yes.
So
we'll talk about something. We'll keep you posted on all the social media. Check that out. But until next time, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.